Okay, welcome back. And I have my timer now, so we are good. I did think of some things oh, wow, I've never actually seen the design of the rug. That's nice. Some things to talk about. Um, E3 is apparently going on right now, or has recently gone on, or something to that effect. And I don't typically get into the E3 craze. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am a gamer. I'm interested in, what games are coming out, what systems are coming out, what upgrades, etc. But I'm not like, oh, I gotta go watch E3. Cause, I don't know, I'm just like, I'll wait till the trailers are done, and then I'll just watch the trailers, cause that's just kind of how I am.
Prepared for anything.
My goodness, so many flares this time. Oh, new jeans. It's always good to have backup clothes. Emergency backup clothes. So much accelerant, too, goodness. But yeah, I've never been big on the E3 craze. I like the stuff that comes out of... I like some of the stuff that comes out of E3, but I'm not gonna be like... I'm just not that person that gets overly enthusiastic about it. Now, that being said, I went ahead and watched some of the gameplay trailers from, for the PlayStation 4. And there's two games I'm really excited for, one above the others. The first is Horizon Zero Dawn, just because I really like that concept. I like the concept of taking... like futuristic technology and combining it with like a prehistoric kind of lifestyle or Native American or, some other kind of tribal type thing. I think that's interesting. I like that. It's a good, and it looks like they have a, yes, I know you're tired. It looks like they have a good way to, kind of combine, combine those two ideas. And I really like the designs for the machine animals. I think those are really cool. So I'm excited about that one. A little disappointed it comes out next year, but it comes out, so I'm not going to complain too much. And I'm patient when it comes to waiting for video games. A prime example is... How tired am I? I should probably start heading back so I can sleep. But a prime example for me is when Twilight Princess was supposed to be released for the Nintendo Wii. They also kept pushing back development. And, because they were also trying to make it compatible for the GameCube, which was the system I had. So I pre-ordered that, and I had that pre-ordered for a year and a half. So when I show up at GameStop to get my my copy of the game, and I show the receipt, because apparently within the time that I pre-ordered and, the time that it came out, I think GameStop had some kind of a policy change where you didn't always need your receipt or something, because they had it in their system, and all I needed was ID or something. I don't remember. But I know that it changed enough that I didn't exactly need my receipt, but I had it anyway, because I wanted proof that I had that. And I showed it to them, and they're just like, what? You've been holding on to this for that long? Holy cow. You're dedicated. And yeah, I am. I'm patient with that. The bottom line for me with that kind of thing is if, go away, antiviral software. I don't need you popping up right now. You're always in front of the screen. I really hope y'all aren't seeing the BRB screen. I'm going to be mad if that's the case. Because it likes to pop up right in front of the window, and I'm always worried I'm tabbing out and hitting that be right back screen. Because that's not what y'all want to see. Y'all want to see the game. But yeah, I'm patient when it comes to gaming development, because I would rather they take more time to work on it than... Good grief, so much accelerant. I would rather they take more time to work on it and therefore increase the chances of the game being good than to rush it and get something like, say, Assassin's Creed Unity. And don't get me wrong, I have been enjoying that game too. But, man, it's so glitchy. Like, even on the PS4, it's really glitchy. I know it's worse on the computer because, for some other reason, Ubisoft hates PC gamers. And I have my own little spiel about that too. But, oh, hello. I see you trying to hide from me. I'm here. But yeah, I know it's worse on the computer because I've seen the screenshots, guys. Oh, do I have reclaimed wood on me already? I'm already kind of overweight. I don't have it on me. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and head back to base, and we'll come back down here and explore these next couple of cabins, after I, oh, well, if it's just this one cabin, I'll just go ahead and get it now. And then we'll head back to base so that I can see there's that wolf, that sneaky little wolf. But I'll head back down so I can put the stuff away, and I'm gonna leave the reclaimed wood for now. We'll come back for it later. First, I can always just sleep here, but I want access to all my stuff. I always like returning to that base when I can. I was going on about something. Oh, yeah, Ubisoft and hating computer gamers. I have no idea why that's the case. I just know that it is. A prime example is...
drop any of this gear.
When we get to base, you can. A prime example is there's a game called Beyond Good and Evil. And for me, this was a wonderful game. It came out for the PlayStation 2. And it got a remake, and it got an HD remake for the PS3 digitally. How bad is it? Oh, wait. Wolf. Yeah, stay over there, Wolf. Leave me alone. I am going away. But it got that remake, and it's one of those games that just kind of came out at the wrong time. It's a good game, but it was overshadowed by a bunch of other games that came out at the time. And so, you know, the sales just didn't do very good. Now, that being said, they have been working on a sequel for years, which I'm excited about. But again, that ties into me just being a patient gamer and waiting to see, you know, what system it comes for and when it's done and all that fun stuff. Personally, I think they should do a Kickstarter for it, but that's just me. And it is an Ubisoft game. Is it Ubisoft or Ubisoft? I've never heard it... I've never been given a pronunciation guide. I've heard it both ways. Anyway, so Beyond Good and Evil is a prime example of Ubisoft hating on computer gamers because they okayed it to be released for Steam. And I was like, oh, cool, I could do, like, you know, kind of a Let's Play of Beyond Good and Evil because, you know, it's one of my favorite games. And I would like to, you know, be able to showcase that to my friends. And I can't because it will not play. And there's people who have, you know, found their own little fixes and stuff, and they've posted it all over the Steam forums and said, hey, you know, this works, or try this, or try that. I've tried them all, and none of them ever worked. So, for me, that's a prime example of a poor transfer to a different system. And it was all Ubisoft, so they're just like, hey, I want another quick buck on this game that people seem to like, as opposed to actually making it playable, which would actually increase their sales, but, you know... They didn't think that part through because they're too busy hating on the PC gamers. Now, on the subject of PC gamers, I'm playing on a computer right now. I would not call myself a PC gamer. And that's primarily because, A, for me, a gamer is anyone who plays video games. Because, you know, I grew up in the time where it was either, you know, like, Atari, Nintendo, Sega, one of the more obscure systems, or nothing, because there was very little in the way of computer games. So for me, gaming just depended on whether or not you even had a platform to do it. And, you know, if I couldn't play video games, I would play things like board games and stuff. And, you know, I guess technically that could be considered gaming too, because those are also games, but usually these days the term gaming refers to video games. So that's what I'm going to limit it to for the sake of this conversation. Or I guess this commentary. That was a dove. Okay, I thought that was a wolf for half a second. How tired am I? I'll get there. But yeah, for me, gaming has always been a person who plays video games. And the only thing that really makes you a PC gamer is if you have a preference for gaming on the PC. And that's fine. You know, I mean, I've been gaming a lot on my computer because, you know, I have, you know, with Steam, you have a lot of games available. And I've also got a lot of old games that I still have the discs for. So I'll occasionally pull those out as well. I tend to hoard my games. It's not often that I will trade in a game unless I know for sure I am never going to touch it again. Or because, you know, I don't live in a place that has the smaller gaming stores, if GameStop won't accept a trade-in anymore. So I have all my NES games, most of my SNES games, a lot of my PS1 games, etc., etc. But I don't consider myself a PC gamer because a lot of times when people go PC gamer, they're like, oh, PC Master Race, and oh, you console peasants suck. And I'm like, why is there this hatred where we all like video games? And I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the performance of a good gaming computer. I love the graphics. You know, I think that a lot of those games can look really stunning. I even got to play Ark Survival Evolved for a little bit on a really good gaming rig. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. That being said, the gameplay is what is important to me. So if you're going to shove your graphics in my face and then talk down to me because I don't have the money to afford, you know, a good gaming rig, then that says more about you than it does about me. Because I'm the one who's trying to get a job. I'm the one who's going to college so I can get the kind of job that I want, or at least, you know, get the kind of knowledge that I need to support myself. And, you know, college these days is just, the particular college I'm going to is also really expensive because, you know, I didn't want to go to just any college. So any money I could have had for a good gaming rig went to my education, which is far more important. So, you know, all these people who are like, oh, PC gaming master race and consoles suck and blah, 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 blah. I have a much worse name for you guys. And I will apologize in advance and give a quick warning to any parents and young children. Cover your ears for about 10 seconds or mute the audio for about 10 seconds. I call them the PC bastard race because a lot of them are just jerks about it. It's one thing if you want to show off what you've got because you're excited about it. It's like, hey, look at this cool thing I got. I can appreciate that. I have no problems with that, but it's the fact that you talk down to anyone who doesn't have a good gaming rig because we can't afford it. Like, we're not the 1%, people. It's expensive to be a PC gamer. So, you know, Steam or no Steam, it is expensive to be a PC gamer. That is plain and simple fact. So, the fact that, you know, you think that you're above us just because you were lucky enough to afford or be gifted or otherwise have this amazing gaming rig just makes you look so childish and stupid. I mean, just grow up, guys, really. Because, you know, gaming is about playing games and having fun and sharing experiences. It has nothing to do with, I'm better than you. You might have better skills than me in certain games. That's perfectly fine. You know, I know people who, you know, still play the N64. I used to get together with my cousins regularly. We would break out the 64 every once in a while, and, you know, they'd still be good at the games that they had, and I'd still be good at the games that I had. And it wasn't this, like, shove privilege in your face thing. So, the fact that it's come to that just makes me shake my head, and actually makes me not want a good gaming rig. Mostly. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love to play in a good gaming rig, but it's just not the highlight of my life, because I've got more important things to worry about than how good my video game looks. I mean, you see this thing, it's stylized, it's highly stylized, the graphics are pretty simple for the technology that's available today. And I'm playing this, so... And if I wanted to, I think I could actually up the graphics a bit. But this is what runs best on my computer. And sometimes, guys, I just like my video games to look like video games. I know that's weird, but I don't want hyper ultra realistic stuff. I want my games to look like games. So if my game doesn't look like a game, you're not doing something right, or you're heading in the wrong direction. I didn't pay for a movie. I paid for a game. So that's my whole rant on that. I don't believe that it's good to, you know, penalize people for stuff that is not in their control. I mean, it's borderline racism at this point, without actually being a race. Like, you're creating, essentially, a class system. Nope, there goes my timer, so I will see you guys in the next video and continue this conversation then.